March 2019 is in the books, so that means it's time to share our March budget report. Hi friends, welcome to the Budget Bounce. I'm Jen, and we use a budget to tell our money what to do, including bouncing debt out the door. We share our ups and downs from living life on a budget and tackling a $252,000 mountain of stupid debt. If you'd like to follow us on our journey and learn more about living life on a budget, being intentional with your money, and making your money work for you, then click on that subscribe button below and be sure to tap on the bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. You can also find me on social media. Just look for the Budget Bounce and know that I post on Instagram at least 5 days a week, so you can see more about our journey on a day-to-day basis there in between videos if you'd like. So be sure to go follow us over there. Let's get started with our March budget report. Before I jump into all of our details, take a minute to tell me down below how you did in March. Did you have a budget? And if yes, how did it go for you? Are you paying down debt, or maybe you're working towards savings goals? Or maybe you're doing both. Some people do both at the same time. I'd love to celebrate the wins with you, and if you need it, the Budget Bounce community is here to pick you up when you're feeling down. So feel free to pause and share in the comments below, and then you can just come right back. All right, this is our income that we had to work with in March. I blocked out our regular income as usual. You can see we had a substantial carryover from February, which was from our tax refund. Plus, we pulled in some money from our sinking funds, which you can see all that down here. And we had Matt's tax returns that came in. So we had some leftover from my tax returns from February, and then we had Matt's come in. So let's see here. That gave us a total of $11,663 to work with this month. And this was our second month with a tax refund, money to work with. And we're really excited to be able to do some pretty awesome things with it. I actually did a video that talks about all the details of what we did with our tax refund this year versus last year. So I'll put that up here in the card for you up in the top right corner for you so that you can check that out. Moving on to giving, we had $5 in March. And then for housing, we came in right on target at $1,449, which includes $936 to the mortgage, $207 to utilities for gas and electric, and then $216 to mobile services. Nothing for our city utilities because that's quarterly. We don't have to pay that till until April, March now. And then mobile services were $216, and then our internet is just right at $90. Okay, so that is housing. So we came right in on target. When we look at transportation, you can see that we came in $58 under. That's because we didn't use as much gas as I thought we would, which is great. So that total was $221 plus our $36 that we paid to OnStar, bringing our total for the month to $257, which is obviously less than our $316 that we had planned. In food, we were under by $11 in groceries, but we were over by $93 for dining out. Yeah, we went a little nuts, and that ended up bringing our food to over by a total of $81. Okay, in the Henry category, we had a $20 expense that for a field trip that he took that popped up. Plus, we paid for mathnasium in March, and so that was, none of these were an issue because we used the sinking funds to cover the unexpected cost of the $20 plus what we had for, we had money in the sinking fund or planned to go to the sinking fund for mathnasium anyway. So this total amount of $339 was covered by sinking funds. In pets, we got our long-haired cat, which is the one that is here right now, being very, very insistent that she get her morning lovings. Her name is Cotton. She was groomed. So that was our standard $15 charge here. We also, I had another $10. I had another $10 for Bella to get her toenails trimmed. So that was why we were 10 over in that. And then we also had to take Bella to the vet because She had a huge bump on her side by her back leg that popped up one day, and she wouldn't stop licking it, so it got really raw and gross. And so, to be on the safe side, we took her to the vet, which cost $19. Again, this was covered by a sinking fund, so this was not an issue at all. In insurance, we were right on target at $1,197 for the month. This is all the insurance policies that we have except for homeowners. All of these come out of our checks. The rest of these are individual bills that come to us. But yeah, we came in right on target with insurance again this month. In entertainment, we have our standard TV, print, so TV here, printer ink, and then our movie club expense. And then we budget $50 for family entertainment each month, but we only used $11. So we came in 38 under. And the reason for that is because we did go to a movie, but I had gotten a Cinemark gift card from my manager for Christmas. So we used that. This was to buy one extra ticket, but the rest of it, like all of our concessions, we used the gift card for. So that was a really cheap family night out for $11. Anyhow, so overall we spent just about $55 on entertainment in March. In health, we paid $10 for the gym, plus I paid out $24 in medical expenses, separate from our FSA card. We did use our FSA in March because it's not reflected here because it just passed through the FSA funds, which is part of my deductions that come out of my check. But Henry had his wisdom teeth taken out over spring break. He had them out on March 27th. And that cost $1,050 out of pocket up front, which was all paid for by FSA funds, thank goodness. And we have about $500 left of the $2,700 that we elected for 2019. So this is why this is covering things that are coming in from 2018, which is, we've used all of those funds already. So we're probably going to have to do $100 a month for medical every month this year to get caught up on everything. So we spent $34.72, which brought this category in under by $75. Scroll up a little bit here. All right, so in extras, I put this here. It was planned. It's not like it was unplanned. I just put it here because it doesn't really fit anywhere else. For this is where I got my my hair and my brows done every 5 weeks. Every 10 weeks I get my hair and my eyebrows done. So that visit with tip cost $52, and that was funded by a sinking fund. And then also we ended up buying some summer clothes for Nikayla, who is our granddaughter, and she is now 17 months old and is wearing size 2T and 3T. So she is off the charts tall for her age. I think she's at like 104th percentile. And so she gets that from her daddy, actually. And we wanted to get her some clothes. She's totally outgrown all of her 24-month clothes. So we moved into 2T to get a bigger size for her, and then 3T on some things. So anyhow, so we spent about $60 getting her set up with some clothes for the summer. That brought our total extras to $114. We were 62 over, but again, all of this was funded by sinking funds. And the crap, I forgot about that. We did not have anything that came up in March because of my handy dandy annual expenses spreadsheet that I have. And so we're all good there. And then moving into envelopes, you can see that I spent way more than my normal $40 in Mad Money in March. And so I spent $77. Matt stayed right on target. In household, we had planned on finishing out our household stock up that we used part of our tax refund for. And that's actually 193 of this number was for that. So our total was $236 for the month, coming in over by about $15. In miscellaneous, we always allow just $50 for whatever might come up. We spent 38 of that, bringing us under by 11. So total, we planned on $351 for envelopes. We spent $393, bringing us in over budget by $41. And these are all electronic envelopes. I mean, we pull cash out for Matt. Sometimes I pull cash out for me, but I use the debit card a lot, and so, which is probably why this was so easy to do. If I would use cash, I probably wouldn't be so tempted. But that is what happened in March. For the budget bounce, I didn't pay for anything for education. For equipment, I had this little adapter thing I had to buy for the microphone that I'm trying to use, which you can tell I'm not using it today because we are having all kinds of problems with it. And so that cost $749, and that was not expected, and that was a cash flow thing. I don't have a sinking fund for the budget bounce. And then for online subscriptions, this is normally $9.99 a month for Adobe Spark. And what happened was I had several things that in March of last year, when the budget bounce first started, I purchased annual subscriptions to some things like TubeBuddy and Untitled and Screencast-O-Matic, which is actually the software that I use to make these videos where you're seeing my computer screen. So those all came up, and that cost a total of $83.19. So that brought us in at $90, which was $7 over the $83. It was because of this piece of equipment that we had to buy that I came in over for the budget bounce. In savings, everything was as planned here. This is pretty standard now. I have these all set up as auto transfers, except for Matt's retirement. He puts some money into his pension plan, and they underpaid him on both checks in February. So when that adjustment came in on his first March check, it increased the deduction. It'll go back to normal again in April, but in the meantime, we put $271 in instead of $265. You can see here that, these were our previous balances, and here is, okay, sorry about that. Matt walked in the door and it got a little crazy in here. Okay, so you can see here we earned some interest. We had $1.24 in interest come in, and we didn't spend anything out of any of these. And so our total balance for savings, our liquid savings, is $1,441. Plus, this is what Matt's paid into his pension so far this year. Moving on to sinking funds. All right, so you can see we have several here. Everything that is bolded is because I do a manual transfer. These are things that we use pretty regularly. So sometimes, like here, I don't send the whole amount. So I do those manually to see how all of that plays out. Everything else goes automatically. So let's start with auto registrations. I planned on 18, and for some reason, I ended up sending $18 back to myself, and I'm not sure how that happened, but we ended up not putting anything. We're fine. We have plenty. We don't have anything coming up again until I think August. So we'll be putting $18 a month in and have plenty to pay that and plenty to pay when we do the next one in January. And then for city utilities, we do $80 every month. In clothing, we put in $40. Estate planning, we do $25 a month. Gifts, we do $40. I didn't put anything in Henry's school because we have to pay $319 to Mathnasium. We normally do $250 here. So I kept that $250 in the checking account and grabbed $69. This needs to be $89. And grabbed $69 and sent it into the checking account to help cover the rest of it. So in holidays, we put $50 a month. I didn't put anything in Image Cosmetics because I was going to spend it. I was going to spend $52. We normally do $50 a month. I just didn't put it in the sinking fund. I kept it in the checking account to use. And then life insurance, we do $81 a month into a savings account to pay that as an annual premium in December every year. Then for medical, I've set up the account, but I've decided not to send $25 a month to it while I'm actively paying on things. I'd rather have it in the checking account so I can just pay on bills that are coming in. Online subscriptions, this includes several things, right? I don't have them all listed here. They don't all add up to $40, but I know we're spending $35 to $40 a month total on all of our subscriptions. So I'm just putting $40 away. The next one coming up is going to be the Amazon Prime, which is coming up in May. Pet expense, this is one of those that I do manually. And here you can see I planned on $85, but because we spent $19 on Bella at the vet, I only put in $66. Technology, we're doing $25 a month. And then you can see travel, we're doing $400. Vacation is 100, vehicles 100, and wedding anniversary is 15. Our wedding anniversary is coming up in May, and we will be celebrating the last weekend in April. So we'll be using this here coming up soon. And for travel, this will not always be this much. This is essentially for FinCon, and it's going to, after August, it'll be reduced down to $250 a month. So pretty hefty right now to get us caught up. So we planned on 1124. We only did $1,062. Our previous balance here was $37.35. Okay, so you can see here that we also earned some interest on our accounts that totaled $588. We spent some money out of our accounts, a total of $307, and then that leaves us with a new balance total of $4,495 in our sinking funds that we can use for whatever might come up that is in these sinking funds. So that's sinking funds for March. Let's move on to our debt category, which is so long that you can't even see the title over here. So this is the list of debts here. Let's get to it. This is the list of debts that we've paid off here. These are all the things that we were paying on at the beginning of our journey that we've paid off at some point in time. And you can see the things that are in pink are things that have my name on them. The things that are in black have Matt's name on them. Anything that has both of our names on them, we put in pink. And right now, there's nothing here that has both of it. But anyhow, so this is what we've already paid off. And I scroll down here, you can see the things that we actually paid on in March. And because of our tax refunds, we were able to pay off both of our mobile phones, which you can see here. So they are now $0. And that was really exciting. And the next item on the list you can see here used to be $25 per month, but they got a hold of me and let me know that they couldn't offer that $25 payment any longer. This is a collector representing the credit card company, and they said if I didn't set up 4 payments of $380.24 to pay it off, that they would have to send it back to the creditor, the original creditor, who would then assess interest and fees, and then they didn't know what would happen with it at that point, how that would all play out. So to avoid that, I agreed to the $380 per month. So yet again, our plan to crush the city card balance was foiled, but this is good because it's still going to debt, and this one will actually be paid off in June. So moving on down, we had $50 to Care Credit, $25 to this Capital One card, and $154 to my 401k loan. And then this is Matt's private student loan. It actually has both of our names on it. And I thought the payment was going up, so I bumped it to $60, and then they only took $52.37. This is an auto pay. So I don't know what's going on with that, but anyhow, that is why there's a difference here. And then we have the Citi card, and for Citi card, we have a $377 per month payment, and you can see I paid an extra $137.36 to them, bringing that total to $514.36. And then we pay on my Lowe's card every month. Here's another Visa that we pay on every month, $400. This is our car loan. We pay $550. This is a hefty car payment, and if you're wondering why we have it, I will put a card up here in the top right corner for you to talk about why we have this and have not gotten rid of it. So the next line item is child support, which we were able to put a big chunk of money to, and that again is due to tax refunds. For Matt, his tax refunds automatically go to child support. The federal and state government both take them and apply them to arrearage or back child support. So that's why this is such a big number. It's normally $725. And I will put another video up here in the cards for you where I talk about all the details of how we used our tax money, both this year and last year, and it explains everything about the child support. The last debt we paid on was to my mom and dad. It was a personal loan, and this is pretty hefty. You can see we started out paying $100 a month last year. We bumped it up to $120, and now we are going to be at 150. I did it in the middle of March, so it's not reflecting 150 here, but it will be 150 going forward. When we scroll down here, let's see here. So, oh, the other thing I wanted to show you before I move, I added a column. I moved the interest here. So this was the previous balance, and then this is the interest that accrued, or estimated interest, depending on if I actually know what the rate is, and then what the balances are for these, which come to a total of, for these, $160,631. And then down here we have these others that we are not paying on. So all of these are old charged off debts. They, like, the original creditors don't have them anymore, and they've been charged off, and they're with some collections companies that have bought them over time. And so we have decided that we are not focusing on these right now, and we will take care of these eventually. We will settle all of these, but for now we are not doing anything with them. That is Matt's request. And so if you're new here, we are not following the traditional, we're in baby step 2, and that we're focusing on paying down debt, but we're not doing it exactly the way that Dave does it. Again, I'll put a card up here for you to see a video where I talk about that. But on this category here of debts, Matt wants to focus on things that have my name on them to get those things taken care of, and then when we get past those, we will work on the things that have his name on them. Student loans are the one thing that we will not be able to settle or anything like that, and it continues to accrue interest, and at $200 a month, which is killing me to watch this. And actually, I think probably when he does his annual recertification this year, I don't think he's going to qualify for deferment anymore, and we're going to have to start paying these, which is one of the reasons why I want to get rid of some of these up here, because I need to free up $400 to $500 to cover the minimums that are going to be coming up with his student loans. So anyhow, that's what's happening down here and why these are all separate. So then let's come down here. So we planned on $5,422, and we paid in $5,552 to debt, which is $129 more than what we planned. We started the month with $225,188 in debt. We had $773 in interest accrue on top of that. And after we paid everything off, we have $220,424 in debt remaining. So let's look at our big picture here. There you go. So after interest, we actually killed off $4,764 of debt, bringing our total killed off debt, like gone forever, to $31,901. We used 47.6% of our income in March toward debt. So this formula is based on this number, the total that we paid to debt, divided by the total amount of income. Now remember, this includes our standard monthly income, our tax refunds, our sinking funds, anything that I had showing in the income category. So this includes this number divided by this number. That is how we are getting 47.6%. And then this number represents the total amount that we have paid off, 12.6% of the original $252,000. That's our progress so far. The great news is that our tax refunds allowed us to catapult our total debt payoff to almost $32,000, you guys. And we are really excited about that. We needed the shot in the arm to keep us going. And we have adjusted our taxes, just so you know. While the tax refunds are really nice, we have adjusted our taxes coming out of our regular paychecks so that we have more cash flow every month. And I actually did that at the very beginning of the year because I had a feeling we were going to be heading down this road with a big tax refund again. So we will have a smaller tax refund next year. I anticipate we will. That's our 2019 budget report. We've already set up for April, and I put that video up a few days ago. I'll link it up here for you so you can watch it if you haven't already seen it. And let me know below if you've already set up your April budget or not. And thanks so much for spending your time with me as I document our journey to get out of debt on our way to finding financial freedom and independence. I'm so glad that you're here, and I love that our budget bouncing squad just continues to grow. That's all I've got for you today. Until next time.